it's just one of those things that can really save mental processing power when you're in the middle of a marathon. And if you're like me, you cannot do math. You cannot function and like do the math in miles per minute for the mile here and this. It just saves time. It saves energy. Okay, so race day is quickly closing in. I thought it'd be kind of fun to share a list of some of the weird things I do to get ready for it, having run the New York City Marathon now 3 times before, going for number 4 in just a matter of weeks. And some of this stuff, you're gonna hear it and you're gonna say, okay, I'm doing it already. Some of this stuff you're gonna be like, oh, I should totally do that. And then there's some of this stuff you're gonna hear and be like, no one should be doing that. Why are you doing that? That's just weird. But whatever, I'm going to share and hopefully you're able to get something out of it. Okay, so really the first thing, and I think probably you might be doing this already, is just look at the race profile, that map that they give you of the elevation, the chart. Because at least personally, what I use it for is I use it to break the race down into sections for myself. Just because it's easier to think about sections than thinking about 26.2 miles. That's a long distance. So when you break it up in your mind and you break it up, you're able to kind of tackle it a bit easier. That's the start. And I use high and low alerts so I know if I'm going too fast or too slow for that section. And it does a couple of things, right? So first of all, it makes it easier because you're not worried about your overall pace for the race. You're just focused on hitting the times for that section of the race. And the times vary, right? Depending on how challenging the terrain is, the elevation, where you are in the race, times vary. But like, for instance, in the first 6 miles of the race, I'll have a race chunk and the goal pace will be slower to keep everything under control, keep everything nice and easy breezy for that first 6 miles of the race. If I'm going too fast, which is very tempting for me, my watch will scream at me. It was also great is that you're able to just look at your watch and then you'll see right away if you're on track or you're not on track. At least on my watch, you get the little arrow and you're too far this way or too far that way. And my goal is to set it up so I'm right dead in the middle. That's kind of the way I do it. And I give myself like a 20-second buffer on each side. So I'm not getting a ton of alerts, but 20 seconds faster or lower for me, I can live with that. But just to see where I am, where am I? My goal for the race, stay in the green. And I do that for each section. And what's also nice about that is that, say you have a section where you kind of you blow it, right? Something happens, you blow it. When that next section hits, that last section's in the past. It's like it's done, it's dead to you. You can focus on where you are in the race right now, not the overall race, not that last section, not the section that's coming up. It just lets you focus, because if there's one thing that I'm really awful at, it's doing math while I'm running a marathon. Like, I think we've all been there where you're trying to okay, I gotta make up this much. I gotta hit this pace. If I run this, like, oh my gosh, I am so terrible at that. So this makes it so much easier. One more little tip that I do, I think it's a practical tip, but if you're doing this, you break it down into sections. I stick a couple extra sections at the end without pace in them. So if the race just blows up completely, I can just kind of skip forward. So I'm not getting alerts for the whole race if something goes wrong. So just one more little tip. So all of that is practical. This might be getting into the weird territory. So obviously a big part, at least for me, of race prep is building that playlist, right? I don't listen to music the entire race, but most of the race, especially in those parts where, it's quiet, you need to pick me up. Music for me is like, that gives me a jolt. That gets me going. So what I'll do though, and again, this is kind of weird. You know how I have my sections, my race breakdown? I build up my playlist for my marathon to kind of go along with my race plan. So to give you an example, I was talking about the first section of the race for me, that first 6 miles being super easy, the more chill pace, ideally, at least for my race plan, my slowest miles of the race. So I'll have in my playlist that first 5-6 miles That first hour or so, it's just kind of mellow. It's good music, but it's like more mellow, you know? Like it's popping, it's getting me going, but it's not like, it's just mellow. Now I know roughly halfway into the race, Queensboro Bridge is one of those tough spots in the marathon. So I know that roughly in that area of the playlist, hit the bangers. Bangers, bangers, bangers. Pick me up, get me through it, right? The last 5-6 miles of the race, especially the last like 3 miles of the race for me, when you were just like, you're digging deep, bangers. Just like the hottest of the hottest of the hottest bangers. Just pick me up, get me going. I want bass, I want thumping. I need it. I need all of it. And when I say bangers, here's another little tip that you might that might help you out. I don't just mean like songs I really like, but for me, the best songs, the best pick-me-ups are songs I used to love many years ago that I haven't heard in a long time. So I will build up the playlist by just going through old albums, old whatever, a song I haven't heard in a long time, but a song I used to love. And I won't even listen to the whole song. I'll say, oh, that's the song. I won't even listen to it when I put it in the playlist. So then when I hear it, it's like, oh, I love this song. Oh yes. You know, like it just picks me up, gets me going, gets me there. Here's another practical thing that we all should be doing. They always say nothing new on race day. Go out, test everything out. I was out the other day testing out the shoes I'll be using for the race. Actually trying to break them in as well. I've never run in these before, and I want to make sure that they're okay. I'll do maybe one more run in them just to make sure that, just to verify that those shoes will be the shoes for me. I've worn the shirt before. I've worn the socks I'm going to wear with the shoes. Everything has been tested, will be tested before race day, because, you know, the idea is to try and reduce the number of variables that you have there. But this is another weird thing that I do, taking it from normal to the weird, is that I will actually test out, it's not actually weird, but like I'll test out my hydration strategy on long runs, but not with water. I'll actually use the exact same Gatorade that they use on the course. They sell it in a powder. I'll actually mix it up, put it on my back, and this might be getting a little bit weird, but I will like take sips of Gatorade where the stations would be along the course. It's like mile 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I will actually take sips of water. I think I'll do like 2 sips of water or 2 sips of the Gatorade at those points. And I do it to kind of figure out how often I should be drinking, how much I should be drinking. In my plan, I actually walk through the water stations. So I'll actually walk for like 5 seconds in the water stations on my long run. We'll see if it actually works. We'll see if it's effective. But the idea being that I just want to get myself prepared, get my mind ready for what the race will be like and feel like. You know, I feel like there's more weird stuff I do, and now that I'm sitting here with the camera on, I can't think about them. Oh, here's the thing I do. This is not weird, but I need to really get on this because I've been kind of slacking. But I will really be big on the flexibility stuff for the next few weeks. Focus on the foam rolling, focus on the massage gun, focus on the stretches, the whole deal. I haven't been the best. During training, I'm good sometimes, and then sometimes I just like stop being good. I've got to be good. I got to like catch up. I want to just be as loose as humanly possible. So that is like a big focus prior to race day. Oh, here's one other thing I do, and this, you might think this is weird, but this is a good thing. And you always do a little shopping before, you know, the marathon. You pick up, you know, some Band-Aids, you know, some Vaseline, stuff like that. I always grab a jar of pickles. I'll pack a little bit of the pickle juice into a little squirt bottle, like a little tiny one, that I'll carry with me for like in case of emergencies, you know, cramping emergencies, and I'm ready to go. You can buy it, like you can actually buy little shots of pickle juice, but I'm always like, why would I buy, you know, a bunch of shots of pickle juice when I could just buy a jar of pickles and enjoy the pickles and then have the juice for the race? I don't know. I guess I'm like that. Oh, one more thing. Two more things. Oh, two more. I just thought of two more. All right. 2 days before the race or 1 day before the race, usually two, I have a little holiday in my head that nobody else celebrates with me. I call it Charge Day. Charge Day. Happy Charge Day. Every possible device gets charged up, topped off. FootPod, running watch, Bluetooth headphones, everything topped off, charged up. Happy Charge Day. Other thing I do is I always focus on, and this is not weird, I feel like this is what you should do, but the day before the race, that is really when I try and hydrate like hardcore. Drinking like just a ton, because I don't want to be drinking a ton the morning of the race. Like I'll drink a little bit, but I try not to do it because I've had some issues in the past. So that's what I can think of right now. I'm sure there's other things. Maybe I'll do another video, or not. We'll see if anyone watches this one. But hopefully you found something here helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments. If you have any weird things that you do, let me know in the comments as well, because I love weird stuff and I would love to add a few things to my regimen.